welcome to the News Desk. I'm Brian Ortiz.
And I'm Deanna Jackson. Tonight we start off by going to our field reporter, Connell Smith.
Thanks, Brian and Deanna. Earlier I had the privilege of speaking with the current CGA parliamentarian and got his thoughts on how important he thinks it is to get involved with not just student government, but clubs on campus as well.
Being involved in student government is the most important decision you'll make, hands down. The student government is such a great facet, a great outlet for anything. Every club here on campus has some way it has to go to the student government. Because everything we do helps us realize there's a greater future, there's something better, something more important past Bloomsburg University. Bloomsburg University is a great institution, but this is just helping us start off our lives for something better and something more in the future.
If there's anything that we learned from William Turner's explanation on how important it is to get involved, it's that no matter what, it's never too late. I'm Connell Smith for the News Desk. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Connell. Puerto Rico, narrowly escaping the wrath of Hurricane Irma, has now become a safe haven for its Caribbean neighbors. Puerto Rican residents were seen donating vital supplies, such as food and water, to boaters who were on their way to provide assistance and evacuation to surrounding islands devastated by the storm. Military assistance has also been successful. Roughly 1,200 civilians, most of whom are American citizens, were also evacuated from the neighboring Virgin Islands on several C-130 cargo planes. Many of whom are sailing towards the ravaged U.S. and British Virgin Islands are doing so purely out of the kindness of their heart and for the camaraderie they share. It's still too early to determine how devastating this storm was, especially in the U.S., but CNN reported that on some Caribbean islands, roughly 70 to 90% of infrastructure was destroyed or damaged.
President Donald Trump said Thursday he was fairly close to a deal with congressional leaders to preserve protections for young immigrants living illegally in America, but he's insisting on massive border security as part of an agreement and a guarantee that he'll get funding for a border wall. Trump, speaking to reporters before surveying damage in Florida, pushed back against Democratic leaders who claimed there was a deal on the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals initiative. He also said his promised wall along the U.S.-Mexico border would come later. We're working on a plan subject to getting massive border controls. We're working on a plan for DACA. People want to see that happen, Trump said. He added, I think we're fairly close, but we have to get massive border security. After he landed in Florida, he declared repeatedly, if we don't have a wall, we're doing nothing. That demand was the latest stipulation in a morning of mixed messages from the administration.
Hurricane season is upon us, so let's throw it over to our chief meteorologist, Danny Krimpaski, to see what's going on outside.
Hello, everybody. I will be taking over for Hurricane Haas. And speaking of hurricanes, we've got a lot of them. People are still trying to recover from Hurricane Harvey over in Texas and Hurricane Irma down in the Virgin Islands in Florida. And now, Hurricane Jose is making his way towards the East Coast on a west-northwest track before it turns and heads more north this weekend. As for the weekly weather updates, tomorrow it will be mostly sunny with a high of 74 and a low of 50 degrees. Thursday, mainly cloudy, high of 75 and a low of 56. Friday will be considerably cloudy with a high of 81 and a low of 56. And for Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high of 77 and a low of 62. Not bad if you're planning on going to the fair. Back to Deanna and Brian.
Well, that's all that we have time for tonight. I'm Deanna Jackson.
And I'm Brian Ortiz. Good night, and thanks for watching.